I often get into conversations with people when they arrive in Aberdeen, and they often show some shock when they experience the lack of faith, I suppose, in Aberdeen. And it's not too surprising. I do tell them it's not surprising that you experience this if you've come from, especially from a Catholic country or from the States where faith is kind of a normal thing for people. Here in 2001, there was a census. And for those of you who were here at that time, you may know about this, but the census showed that Aberdeen had the highest proportion of atheists in Britain per head of population. So more atheists percentage-wise in Aberdeen than in any other city in the UK. Atheist capital, 2001. So it's not too surprising that when you come here, you find the majority of people have no faith, or who might be actually quite hostile to faith. I'm telling them this so that my hope is to encourage them and say, in that sense, because you've got all these people who have no faith, that means you need to really prepare yourself and expect this, and therefore strive a little harder to live your faith. That's my intention. I think sometimes it backfires, and I think what happens sometimes is people say to themselves, oh my, it is so hard to be a Catholic here, and Father said that everybody's going to be, maybe I'll just give it up because, it's so difficult. So they use that as an excuse. Father said it's hard, therefore I can give it up. That's not what I want. But I want people to enter in and engage in more with their faith because of the circumstance. And we look at the apostles. We can feel often that our faith, because of the surrounding people attacking our faith all the time, that our faith gets eaten away until it becomes almost nothing. The apostles had something else. They had Jesus, whom they were following, and Jesus, whose faith was, he is God. He trusted his Father completely. He had complete faith that whatever he asked his Father would happen. And so these guys walking around with Jesus, working miracles daily, people being healed daily, the dead being raised, food multiplying, walking on water, seeing all this. And they must have been looking at themselves and saying, wow, I just don't have what he has. I don't have the same sort of faith as Jesus at all. Could I work those miracles? And so we have the apostles approaching Jesus and saying, Lord, increase our faith. We want to be more like you. We want to be able to do the things that you do. But Lord, we just don't have your faith, the sort of faith that you have to be able to do that. And so Jesus turns and says to them, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you'll be able to say to a mulberry tree, be uprooted and planted in the sea. Now, Jerusalem is several miles from the sea, and he's telling a tree, I was at Mass with the kids this morning, and I had a little mustard seed to show the kids how big a mustard seed is. You know how big a mustard seed is. If I held up a mustard seed here, you would not be able to see the mustard seed, okay? It's small. And Jesus is saying, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you'll be able to say to that tree, be lifted up, travel several miles, and be planted in the sea. Do you know, I think that may have made the apostles feel worse. Oh my, I can't do that. I can't uproot a mulberry tree just by saying, be uplifted up. That means my faith must be even smaller than a mustard seed. But that's not what Jesus was talking about. That's not what Jesus meant. What was Jesus saying? Jesus was saying, you don't have to have a massive faith for miracles to happen. You don't. You could have the minutest, smallest faith, and with that, miracles can happen. With that, wonders could happen. With that, hearts can be changed. With the minutest faith. You've come here And I'm positive that some of you are here only by the grace of God, because of the struggles that you have to go through, the hardships in your work life, in your family life, in your daily life, that you're barely holding on to your faith. And it's a struggle. And Jesus is saying, with that little faith, that the little that you have, miracles can happen. Why? Because it doesn't depend on our faith, the size of our faith. It depends on God. It's He who does it. It's He who uproots the tree and sends it to the sea. Not me and not you. Not the size of your faith. You could have the size of faith of this planet, or the size of a mustard seed. It is God who does it. And we have to ask Him, Lord, I need. Lord, so-and-so needs. Lord, please can you? Lord, help. With the little minute faith we have, and He will do the rest. Him. Not our faith, not us, by any stretch of our imagination. We have some faith. Let's do as St. Paul encourages, to fan that flame, to fan that gift that God has given us into life. We need it to grow. But at the end of the day, it's God who does it.